Good morning students. Hope all of you are fine. Today we are going to study about history. As you all know that this subject is newly added in your syllabus because in class 2 you did not have any history class. So we all need an introduction about the subject. So what is a history? History is an important subject because through this only we all come to know about our past and which also help us to compare our present with that. So today we are going to start with the first chapter of the subject history, and the first chapter is why history. Now as we are starting the chapter, the first question arises, what is history? So what is history? History tells us about what happened in the past. It reveals how people lived, what they ate, where they lived. So what is history? History tells us about what happened in the past. It reveals how people lived, what they ate, where they lived. Now the second question is, what is ancient? What do you mean by ancient? Ancient means distance past. So what do you mean by ancient? Ancient means very distance past. Now the third question, why do we study history? This is an important question. Why do we all study history? We have different reasons for that. We study history to know about our past, our ancestors, how our ancestors lived, how the kings lived, the kings and the different dynasties that ruled us, because it is very exciting and interesting to know about our past. As it tells us about our past, we can analyze our past and move towards a better future. So suppose if we have made any mistake from our past, we can learn from that and do our future right. So that is why we all read history. Now history is the story of a man, the early man, and about the present man as he is today. In the next question we can see there are two parts of history. One is prehistory, another one is history. So what is prehistory? Pre means before, therefore prehistory means before recorded history. So prehistory is a period when there are no written records. And what is history? History is a period for which written records are available. So we come to know about two parts of history. One is prehistory, another one is history. What is prehistory? Prehistory means before, therefore prehistory means before recorded history. And so prehistory is a period when there are no written records, and history is a period for which written records are available. During the prehistoric period, people did not know how to read and write. They mainly used stone tools to draw images on cave walls and on stones. In times of history, people know how to read. That's why there are many books written which we follow. And during the prehistoric times, there were the people did not know how to read and write, so they mainly use stone tools to draw images on cave walls. So now we came to know that stone tools were used to draw images on cave walls and on stones, but there were other uses of stone tools also. For that we need to know the next question. What did early men do with the stone tools? What were the uses of the stone tools? Stone tools were used to dug out roots, to cut leaves of plants for shelter and clothing, use them for hunting, protected themselves from wild animals. So the stone tools were used to dug out roots, cut the leaves of plants for shelter purpose and for clothing purpose. They used them for hunting, to hunt down big animals or small animals. They used that, and the stone tools also protected themselves from the wild animals. Early men could not read or write. The next question, how do you know that the early man cannot write? Before that I need to tell you, early men could not read and write, but they knew how to draw and paint. They drew on the walls of caves and on rocks. With time they learned how to sharpen their tools. This made their life easy. Now they could cut, dig, hunt easily. So we learn about them that the pictures they drew on the cave walls and things they used in their daily life. So by seeing these drawings on the cave walls, we can tell that they don't know how to write, but they knew how to draw and how to express themselves. Now for the next part, which tells us about these paintings and dugout materials, we will not read it today. We will do it in the next class, because as today is your first day about the history class, so I think that much will be okay for you. So we will do a quick recap, and next day we will do the other part, means other part of this chapter. So let's revise once more. So the first thing that we learn today about history is that history tells us about what happened in the past. It reveals how people lived, what they ate, where they lived. It also tells us about ancient. Ancient means very distant past. It also tells us why do we study history? To know about our past, our ancestors, the kings and different dynasties that ruled us, because it is exciting and interesting to know about our past. As it tells us about our past, we can analyze our past and move towards a better future. History is a story of a man, the early man, and about the present day man as he is today. Then we read about history is divided into two parts. One is prehistory and history. Pre means before, therefore prehistory means before the recorded history. So prehistory is a period when there are no written records. History is a period for which written records are available. During the prehistoric period, people did not know how to read and write. They mainly used stone tools to draw images on cave walls and on walls. What else did they do with the stone tools? They dug out roots, cut leaves of plants for shelter and clothing purpose, used them for hunting, protected themselves from wild animals. It also tells us early men could not read or write, but they knew how to draw and paint. They drew on the walls of caves and on rocks. With time, they learned how to sharpen their tools. This made their life easier. Now they could cut, dig, and hunt easily. We also learned about them that the pictures they drew on the cave walls are used in their daily life. So this much for today. You will revise this chapter at home, and next day we will do the second part. So thank you all.